sell 3 entrees, and 2 of those entrees are made with the same protein. That's it. That's if you get my truck, this is what you get. I sell 2 sides, fries and red beans and rice, and I do have some salads, but that's my menu. And I've had folks, oh, you should sell mac and cheese, you should sell fish. This is what we sell, and I'm okay with my truck not being the truck for everybody. You don't go to a barbecue truck and ask them for cupcakes.
Yeah.
Hey, my truck says BlAZING Cajun turkey wings. We're gonna have turkey wings, and because it's Cajun Creole with a little Gullah Geechee going on, you're gonna get red beans and rice. You're gonna get shrimp po' boys, and that's the menu. That's what we sell. When you keep it simple and do those 2 or 3 things really, really well, on top of having great customer service, it's a recipe for success.
Got to think that's how Waffle House stayed in business. The menu's the same old menu. If I went into a time machine 20 years from now, I don't think they would change. Now, let's venture back into this here. And I know I'm going to make a lot of my friends in the lower Louisiana area mad. But, brother, I had your jambalaya, and I've been all over Louisiana. And I had some very good jambalaya, and yours had to be the best I had, hands down. I'm sorry if I offend any of my people, friends from Lafayette, Louisiana, New Orleans. It is what it is. Now, you got time to prove me wrong. But this brother here, I think South Carolina's up on the scoreboard here, 1-0 at this point. That being said, what are the differences? Because I see there are some differences, but I see some similarities between the low country, South Carolina coastal style, and the Louisiana Creole. Now, thing about it is Creole and Cajun, people get those confused. They often get those confused, whereas Cajun is more spicy, where Creole is more have a mixture of African style cooking. What are some of the differences you say? Well, the similarities, because I see so many similarities. Let's focus on those instead between what South Carolina, low country, and lower Louisiana.
Okay. So I am from Carolina, actually, from the metro, Columbia, South Carolina City. My family hails down in the lower state, going into the Charleston area.
Right.
So when you talk about Charleston, you can ask anybody about red rice. Red rice is more, red rice is delicious.
Yes,
now,
it is.
The way I build my jambalaya comes from a red rice recipe. Like, I've seen a lot of folks who make their jambalaya, they started with white rice and, the meats and the vegetables and the Trinity and all that good stuff. And then they add crushed tomatoes or whatever at the end to give it a little red flavor. Some do, some don't. I do. And then I actually take mine a little step further, and I actually use a saffron rice base. And I think that's probably where the tweaking, kind of changes a little bit.
Right.
I use sometimes, depends on who I'm cooking for, if I'll use andouille sausage. But the key is having fresh shrimp.
That's a must.
That's a must. So we got a little shrimp in South Carolina, and then down in Florida we get a little Mayport shrimp over there. And some people say that Gulf shrimp is better. Hey, as long as it's wild caught, naturally raised, you're good to go.
And a lot of people don't realize that shrimp and grits is I didn't realize that till like 2 years ago that shrimp and grits was a Gullah Geechee dish. I didn't know that.
Absolutely.
I didn't know that.
And I'll tell you the truth, barbecue started in South Carolina.
Wow.
So, back during, slavery time, it was fire and it was meat. It was the hog. And that's how that whole hog barbecue kind of started, because, we would end up having to cook the scraps of what was out there.
Right.
And, hey, we didn't get the choice meats, and we had to make it stretch and make it good. And that's truly how barbecue really, really started.
Right. What I noticed in the Carolinas, both North and South, it emphasis more on whole hog. Where you move further east in the South, you see less of the whole hog and everything. You see more of they doing pieces of it, like the butts, the shoulders, the hams. Texas, of course, they do a lot of beef. St. Louis have their style. So it's definitely, people think all Southern food is the same, but it's some similarities, but it's definitely some differences in Southern cuisine.
Yeah, that whole hog cooking is not for the faint of heart.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because you got different parts that have different thicknesses, different textures, and it's all on the grill at the same time. But you want to be able to have all the meat that's usable.
Mm-hmm.
So, you work on moving your coals around, you work on your different injections and all that good stuff to make that whole hog go.
Mm-hmm. Well, I consider myself pretty good on the grill, but that whole hog, I'm gonna leave it to you Carolina brothers up there, because I noticed they have that part when I was watching the show where they made the skin almost like they smoked it till it became like crackle. And they said that's when you know you got a good smoked hog. So I'm like, I haven't perfected that. I said, I just stick with my ribs and my chicken and my bratwurst right there. And I just, like yourself, keep it simple. But I'm, very intrigued about the culture in that Charleston area. I went up there last summer, St. Helena and Beaufort, and I fell in love with it. I consider that my spiritual home, even though I'm not from there. But there's some very spiritual about that area to me. Of course, the food is good, and that makes a difference. But yeah, that's the second home to me. So, brother, how can they get in contact with someone who want to get in contact with you? Do you have a website that they say, hey, I want to order some of those good old blazing Cajun wings? And also, well, this brother also do turkeys doing Thanksgiving and Christmas, but you got to get those orders in, because them orders will go very fast. Now, who's calling me at this time while I'm doing the interview? Those orders do go by real fast. So when he put that link out, I advise you all to get your orders in early, or you're just going to be left out.
Yep. So we do have a website. Our website is www.blazingturkey.com. BLAZIN turkey.com. You can find us on Facebook and on Instagram, and it's at BlAZING Turkey. That's saying BLAZIN Turkey. We will post, and if you want to, well, we really don't do pop-up orders. Since we are a pop-up shop, we do festivals. We will post a location where we're going to be, what festival we're at, unless it is the time for ordering turkeys, when we will actually post it on our website, let you know the turkey ordering is open. We do 14 to 16 pound turkeys. They are deep fried and seasoned with Cajun after they come out. And I mean, they are delicious and people love them. I always get someone or two people always say, oh, I can go to Bojangles, I can go to Popeyes, I can go here, I can go there. And I let them know where the closest Bojangles and Popeyes is. I say, because I charge what I charge. I think I have really good prices for the size bird that I sell. And my bird is fresh. You'll get my bird, right at the oil within an hour or two. Easy to carve. It comes in an oven safe bag with reheating instructions, and I've never had a complaint about a turkey.
I've never had a complaint about your turkey, because I ordered from you 2 years ago when I was eating turkey sandwiches for almost 2 weeks. So
yes, sir.
Yeah, so it's very good. Like I said, again, I am going to put that link there in the description box. So if people want to just order, they can. They want to place some orders early. I don't know how early you take your orders, but I will be dropping the prescription, the link in the description box, so people can come along and say, hey, I like to try those blazing Cajun turkey. So anyway, brother, it's been good. Thank you for taking the time to come here and doing this interview here and showing everybody what you're about and showing the skills that you have. And I look forward to talking to you again.
All right. One last thing before we go is that we open up turkey ordering the first week in November. And that's for Thanksgiving turkeys. We'll post the quantity that we have available. And like you said, get them in early, because when we're out, we are out.
Right. Awesome. Hey, you heard it here. You heard it here, people. You better get those orders in. Of that, you
All right.
just out. You're going to have to go to Bojangles or Popeyes. All right, brother. Nice talking to you, brother.
All right. Thank you.
All right, go Mob.
Go Mob.